I hope y'all are well. Come on in. Turn my brain. It's not gonna worry me. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Make this adjustments. Put in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put in the comments if one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. I'm sorry. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna do part 2 from yesterday. I was gonna come back and do it last night, but y'all, I had an allergic reaction or something. I ate something. It was a wrap. Hey, my love, how are you? I hope that you are well. I miss your face. Y'all share this with the queen who needs to elevate her income. Because a huge part of elevating your income or increasing your income has to do with you knowing who you are and knowing your identity. And so I'm going to close out today with part 2 of the 7 things that need to be done so that you can operate in the fullness of your identity, and then that shifts you in being able to create more income for yourself, make more money, all that great stuff. Okay, so tag your friends, the ones who need it, okay, the ones who actually going to implement it. For those who do not know me, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine lifestyle strategist, and what I do is I support my amazing clients in 4 key areas. Those key areas are the following. I'm sorry, I'm getting some interruptions. Number 1, mastering their authentic feminine design. Number 2, oh, excuse me. Number 2, regulating their emotions. Number 3, creating seamless income. And number 4, building a digital based business model so they can work from anywhere in the entire world. So that is what I do for my clients. It's supporting my clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to multi 6 figures, to attracting better partners, to achieving goals and things that you thought you would never be able to achieve. Basically, what I do is I support women who come to me saying, you know what, I want to live a different life. And I need to manifest a new version of myself, a more authentic version of myself, so that I can attract the opportunity, so that I can know how to operate as a feminine woman, so that my experience and my life can truly shift, okay? So women who are in that space tend to come and work with me. A lot of those women are women who are the cycle breakers. These are the women who are like probably like the oldest daughters, are the duty and responsible women of their families. And so a lot of those women are extremely exhausted, extremely stressed out, extremely all over the place, and they're needing support in order for them to shift their mindset around prioritizing themselves first. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, you should be taking care of yourself and you should be prioritizing yourself first. Which sounds, it's a lot easier said than done. And so a lot of the women that work with me feel a lot of guilt because they were the ones who made it, or they are the ones that made it, or they are the ones that tend to know what to do. But those women also struggle to prioritize themselves. So I support them in prioritizing themselves and being able to create lives that they actually desire and that they truly, truly want to live. Whether that is for you to be in a healthier relationship, whether that is for you to build a business that you love that supports your femininity and your womanhood, whether it's you communicating and meeting your tribe, whatever that looks like, I support women in being able to achieve those things, okay? I tell people all the time that, you don't manifest things, you actually manifest a new version of yourself who can manage these specific type of things. So, and I have more of that information. You can check that out on my other YouTube videos. But today specifically, I'm going to be focusing on how you can elevate your income using your authentic feminine design. So it's basically feminine prosperity unveiled. So if you are a woman, okay, because I'm going to tell you exactly who this live is for, because I don't want anyone to be confused. And if you need to roll, I'm not offended. I'm not tripping, okay? This session really caters to women who truly want to understand how their feminine identity actually connects with their creator, and how it can actually be a catalyst for increased income. Okay. And what I mean by that is that when you understand your value, it becomes very easy for you to articulate your value. And when you can articulate your value, you can actually create more opportunity and more value for yourself in the form of money. And I think a lot of people feel like it's very difficult for you to be able to make money, and it's really not difficult for you to make money. How do you do there? I don't do therapy sessions. I do offer one-on-one sessions. You'll have to DM me so I can send you a link for that. Okay. So I support my clients in being able to really manifest a new version of themselves so that they're able to manage that six-figure business, manage that new healthy relationship, manage that marriage, manage these new friendships, manage everything that tends to be coming our way. Okay. So I support women in being able to do that. One of the ways that I do that is that we do a lot of mindset work. A lot of that mindset work starts in shifting your perspective of self. What you have to understand as a woman is that how you view yourself makes it pretty much plays a huge role in the decisions that you're making, in the mates that you're choosing, in the work that you choose to obtain, and the things that you choose to do. All of these things are around your self concept. So for myself, for example, I was taught, you go to school, get a good job, you do this, you're going to do well. Well, a lot of us have been gooped to realize that the American dream has been a big lie, right? So we've done all of these things and we're not really getting the fulfillment that we thought that we would end up getting per the American dream. And so a lot of us are waking up from that, but we don't really know what to do. So that's where I come in. I support you in being able to make that transition if you're ready to make that transition out of that thinking that you only have one way to be able to do certain things. There's only one way for you to make money. There's only one way for you to be able to attract a partner. There's only one way for you to be able to do all of these things. And it's not. There are multiple realities. And so I support my clients in creating and choosing the reality that they really want and they really desire for themselves. Okay. So, with that being said, before I get into these last three things that are very powerful when it comes down to your feminine identity, if you are wanting to really elevate and increase your income, those three key things I'm going to talk about today are going to be very, very vital. And the key thing is, too, with those three things is that you'll be able to apply these things in your relationships too, of how you deal with the opposite sex or how you deal with your friends and how you deal with family. These are going to be the basis of that. Your identity is locked in. That's the fundamental key to all of this, okay? So before I get into that, I want you to understand, number one, your true value, okay? You are time, energy, attention, and money. If you lack any of these things, you have to ask yourself why. During the process of creation, innate value was placed within you, okay? You were given a set amount of time to be here. During that set amount of time for you to be here, there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and downs. So it's about how you navigate and transmute your downtime into uptime, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is, when life comes and hits you in the face with something, if you're crumbling every single time, it's probably because you're not very sure of your authentic identity, okay? Because when you understand your identity, especially your identity in regard to the one that created you, you begin to realize that things are not happening to you, they actually happen for you. So you begin to really pay attention to the fact that you are time, so you stop wasting time, okay? You are also energy. So when I say that you are energy, this is for my kind-hearted people. This is for the people who are constantly saying that, oh, I don't know why people keep hurting me or getting over on me or doing these things to me because I'm such a kind person. Kind people know how to manage their energy. The truth of the matter is you don't know how to manage your energy, which is why you give everything away. You are the most giving person in your community, yet you are the person who receives the least, okay? What we have to understand is feminine women. Feminine women have to get very comfortable with receiving. To be masculine is to give, especially when we are over giving. What you have to remember and understand is that the masculine gives in order to receive. The feminine receives in order to give. And so when you understand that concept, you begin to understand the power and the divinity within your energy. Okay, it tells you in scripture, Proverbs 4:23, to protect your heart above everything else because from it flows life, right? That is your energy. That is a huge energy source. If that energy source stops, if your heart stops, guess what? You're gone. So there's a reason why you should be protecting your energy source. So you should not be out here giving your time and your energy to people who don't value you. You should not be out here exhausting yourself and exhausting your energy for employers that do not value you. You are not operating from a space of integrity. And one thing about being a feminine woman that receives income, because receiving money is feminine, okay? So in order for you to consistently receive this type of income that you desire, you want to work from a place of integrity. You can't work from a place of integrity when you hate your job. You can't work from a place of integrity when you hate your business. This is why we should be doing things that actually connect with us, that make us money, so that we can be paid extremely well instead of trying to hustle and bustle at these 9 to 5 places that don't really care about you. You have to start valuing your energy. We have become a society where we feel like after 30 years, these corporations owe you something because you've given them your time and your energy. They don't owe you anything. You signed a contract. These corporations don't care about you. It is your responsibility to care about yourself. They're using you. Why aren't you using them? You're allowing them to take all of your energy and you're not getting anything in return. It's not making sense. You are energy. You have to protect that energy. You don't protect your energy because you don't realize that the energy within you is divine. If you don't realize that, and no, I'm here to tell you, number one, it tells you in Genesis how you were created with the God frequency. It tells you that you were created in the likeness, the image of the Most High, which is going to give you dominion, which means that you don't have to kiss anybody's behind. You don't have to suck up to people. You don't have to be anything other than yourself to excel, because dominion is a part of your birthright if you are willing to acknowledge and understand who you are, as in you having the godlike frequency within you, understanding your godlike character nature that is within you, and those two things are synonymous. Then you can actually have dominion. You can actually get your territory, and not just get your territory, but actually keep your territory. Because it's one thing to be able to obtain something, but it's a different kind of flex when you're able to sustain it. It's great that you've started a business. I think that's amazing. I think that's wonderful. Let's keep it rolling for the next 20 years. How about that? Because there are a lot of people who started businesses in 2020 who are sitting flat. Okay, so what I teach and what I speak on is longevity and sustainability. So if you want the long game and you want the long term, I'm your girl. But a part of that is you learning how to manage your energy as a woman. Being a kind person is not an excuse for you to allow people to trample over your boundaries. Having a big heart is not an excuse of why you keep attracting narcissistic people. The reality of the situation is that you are a mismanager of your energy. No one has ever taught you that it's a priority for you to manage your energy, because at home, your energy was exhausted, especially if you were raised in a home with a single mom, especially if you were in a home where you're the oldest daughter and you have all the responsibilities. Your energy is used to being exhausted. You've probably been burnt out since you were a child. And now it's time for you to really begin to understand the root of that and how to start protecting yourself. And the first element of that is realizing that you are yourself. You are energy. Okay? And that energy is divine. That energy is precious. That energy should be protected. Okay? So not only are you time, are you energy, but you are also attention. Here's the key thing about attention that a lot of people really need to pay attention, that really need to focus on. Attention is one of those things to where once someone gets it, whether it is media, whether it is a person, whether it is a song, whether it is whatever it is, whatever has your attention has the potential to literally manipulate your energy. Okay? And what I mean by that is whatever has your focus has the potential to shift your energy in its direction, whatever that looks like. So if you are spending time with someone who you didn't like and who you initially did not find attractive, or you did not see yourself being with, or anything like that, and at the end of it, you're wondering how you got played by somebody you didn't like initially, probably because you gave them too much of your time, you gave them too much of your energy because you was bored and you didn't know what to do with it, and you solely focused your attention on spending that time with them, and because over time you got worn down and now you think you like this person, when in reality you never liked them anyway. You never liked them anyway. You never liked them from jump. And now you're trying to figure out how you got played in a situation. It's because you gave away your attention. Whatever you give your attention to for however long, it literally has the potential to manipulate your energy. And when I say your energy emotions, that's the definition of emotions. Energy in motion. Okay? Your energy in motion, if it is negative energy in motion, it is attacking your organs. Okay? You hear that saying where people say, oh, you done stressed me out, now I got a headache, you done ran my blood pressure up, all these things. These things are very, very true. When you invite stress into your body, into your existence, it manipulates the way that your organs operate. Your body has to work almost harder to be able to achieve what it does on the regular at a harmonious pace, because you are stressed and you are all out of order, because you've given your attention to the wrong thing. This is exactly what happens when you spend a month watching the news, because you've given that to your attention to the news and what exactly is happening online or all over the world, supposedly, right? When you give your attention to that, guess what happens? Your emotions become manipulated because you become stressed, you become worried, you become afraid, you become concerned, and all of these things are wreaking havoc on your organs. Society feeds off you being afraid of things. Society feeds off you being anxious, okay? So it's very important for you to be very careful on to what you give your, to what and to whom you give your attention to. Okay, so understand that you are attention. That is a high level currency, and it is not to be given out easily. It should not just be passed around. Nobody should be able to get your attention. I always tell women all the time, you should have requirements for people to access your energy. I have requirements to access my energy, even when it comes down to business. People can't just directly contact me. People can't just directly call me and work with me. That's not the way this goes. There are boundaries in place to keep me protected and to keep me safe, and so that I manage my attention and my energy properly. Why is that important? Because if you manage your time properly, if you manage your energy properly, and you manage your attention properly, which are all of these things that you are made up of, guess what? It's easier for you to catch money. Notice I didn't say chase money. It's easier for you to catch money because opportunity begins to come your way. Because why? You're not focused on the BS. Your energy is not being wasted. Your time is not going down the drain because you are focused on what you need to be focused on. What you have to understand about money, which you are also money. You are time, energy, attention, and money. It tells you in scripture, Proverbs 8 and 12, literally, that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. Being broke in 2024 and you're saying that you're a believer is an oxymoron, and it's a slap in the face to the one that created you. Because I've never seen the righteous begging for bread, and I've never known the Most High not to take care of his own, especially according to his riches and glory. So for you to be out here talking about you don't have, you don't know, you lack, is a clear indicator that you are not in alignment with your birthright. Your birthright is abundance. It tells you that in John 10:10. It tells you that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. What does the enemy come to steal, kill, and destroy? I call the enemy the op, right? Because he's working in opposition to you. So the op actually uses people. Because here's the thing. The op never works alone. And I know we like to sit here and be like, oh, the devil's so busy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way you try to make it seem like he's doing this, the enemy is only as busy as you implore him. Like, that's it. When you employ him, he operates through vessels. He needs a vessel to operate. So we're talking about paying attention to the people who are constantly stealing your joy. Paying attention to the people who are constantly killing your confidence in the event, so that you become so overwhelmed mentally that you self-destruct by starting to do things to your own self. See, we have people in positions and we have people in our lives that literally are on assignment to destroy us, but we keep these people in our lives due to our attachment to them, due to us feeling like we're not going to get anything else or get another person like this or get another friend like this. On the other end of that verse, it tells you the Messiah has come to give you life and give you life abundantly. That's what it says. That's what it says. Right? So if abundance is your birthright, then why are we operating from a space of lack? Why are we sitting around here talking about what we don't have? Why are you chasing a bag? Hey, my love. It tells you in scripture, in Proverbs specifically, if you chase wealth, it's almost like it will take up wings and fly away from you. You don't chase these things, you are these things, so you create more of these things, or you manage these things properly. You are made up of time. You are made up of energy. You are made up of attention. Hey, my love, you are made up of money. These aren't things that you should worship, things that you should stress over. These are things that you actually have within you that are of innate value. And when you have innate value within yourself like that, you're able to create external value. So the first thing I need you to do is put in the comments for me, I am high level currency, because I need you to understand your value. Before I get into the whole identity thing and how it increases your income and why that makes a huge difference, let's get into the space of you understanding your innate value so that women can stop performing. Because the performative femininity, the performative cool girl, The performative good girl, the performative I just want to be viewed as a good person. I'm this and I'm that. Like, we don't need that. What is needed is for you to authentically be you, and you being is valuable. You being is valuable. You're a human being, not a human doing. Okay? So it's very important for you to be very clear on your value, especially as a woman. When we don't know our value as women, we settle for lives that are less than what we deserve. When you don't understand your value as a woman, you settle for partnerships that are less than you deserve. Hey, my love, when you don't understand your value, you settle for dollars that are less than you deserve. Okay? So you really have to start paying attention and understanding that you are the value. Why do you think they have a human resource department? They have that there to protect the company, but to manage you so that you can get the company where it wants to be. They know you are the value, which is why they pour so much money into you coming before you even get there, because they're prepping for that. You are the value. You are the workhorse, but they've tricked you into believing that you need them. And I don't know about you, but if you guys are paying attention in 2024, there is no such thing as job security. So while people are doing all this talking about, oh, I don't want to be an entrepreneur because I like my 2-week check. So a lot of people 2-week check going to get cut. And your 9 to 5 should not be your only income. I'm sorry. Especially right now. It should not, thank you, my love. It should not be your only income right now. That's utterly ridiculous. Nothing is going to get cheaper. Nothing is, all this stuff that's happening, it's going to continue to elevate. Are you going to be elevating with it, though? Or are you going to be one of the ones who is left behind because you want to stay in the space of mediocre? You want to stay in the space of staying small. You want to stay in a space of sitting because you don't want people to say things about you. In a minute, everybody going to be screaming. Decide if you're going to be screaming from Hawaii or be screaming from underneath a bridge, because that's how real it's getting out here. Decide whether or not you're going to be screaming from Hawaii or if you're going to be screaming from under a bridge, under a cardboard box, because this is what it is. Have y'all been paying attention to the homeless in your cities? Have you been paying attention to the things that has been going on in your community? It's all around you. Choose to be a master of self, or choose to sit in a space of mediocrity. It's not going to bother me any either or, because my position was to tell you. See, that's my assignment. My assignment is to make you aware. But I'm going to tell you now, though, I'm being Hawaii or somewhere. Because I ain't going to be under a bridge, because I ain't finna waste my talents. I ain't finna throw my talents away. Okay, I ain't finna bury my talents. I'm going to invest them wisely because it makes a difference. All right? So now that you understand that you're a high-level currency, okay? Come on, listen. People better recognize, baby, you 1 foot in the house and 1 foot outside, especially if you only have your 9 to 5 going. Please don't get that confused. Please. I have a homeless initiative where I help homeless people every single month. It's not a game. It's not a game. And I'm seeing more women, more families, more women with children on the street. Okay? This is not a joke. It is not a game. It's for you to really understand what's going on. All right? So the next thing I need you to be very clear on, okay, 1 missed paycheck away. 1 missed paycheck away or 1 emergency away. All it takes is 1 bad accident, something, you in the hospital, and your money just gone. Because listen to me. It is real out here, and you better start paying attention, okay? So the next thing I need you to understand is that outside of you knowing your value, you need to know that your belief impacts your biology, and your biology influences the way that you behave. The things you believe about yourself, your brain does not have a sense of humor in knowing that you're telling a joke. So if you say you're broke, if you say you're poor, if you say this keeps happening, that is going to continue to be your reality, because that is the belief. Okay, so if that's the belief, the body is going to act on that belief, and the behavior is going to exhibit that. When a woman thinks she's pregnant and she's going really haywire about, oh my God, I think I'm pregnant. She's sleeping. Next thing you know, she's You know, she's throwing up, all these things happening. And she take a pregnancy test, and guess what? She's not pregnant. Why? Because belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. So when you believe that you were pregnant, everything that you thought you knew about pregnancy, that you've seen about pregnancy, those symptoms, all of those things reverted in your brain. Like, these are the things that happen when you're pregnant. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. So you throwing up, you doing this. Why you got no pregnancy? Why is there no two lines? Why? Because you weren't pregnant, because that's how powerful your belief is. And you have to understand that, right? So the next thing I need you to get is that there's a 3-part success strategy system that I live by. I teach to my clients, and I weave into all of my products and my services because I feel like it's that vital and it's that important. The reason why I do this is because if you look at any celebrity scandal, or you look at any crazy thing that happens in the world where we get the last of the news of what's happening in Hollywood and all of these things, right? You will see that they have violated either one of these 3 things that I'm going to tell you about. The first thing is obedience to spiritual law. I know we live in a society where everyone feels like they can do their own thing. I know we live in a society where everyone feels like it's just kind of whatever. But I don't know about y'all, but I would prefer to know how the laws of the universe govern this world and how spiritual law works, especially because I didn't create this place. I didn't create the earth. So I'm not fully familiar with everything, and I don't know where all the landmines are. So I prefer to obey spiritual law, which is number 1, because it keeps me in order. It keeps me in line, okay? So when I say that it keeps me in line and it keeps me in order, it keeps me sharp, I'm speaking about one law in particular, right? That is the law of sowing and reaping. You hear the Most High say it in Scripture, God is not mocked, for whatever man sows, ye shall reap, right? That's true T. The universe is actually an algorithm. It's an algorithm that picks up every single thing that we are doing. And if you notice, everything that the enemy does is a mimic of what the Almighty does. So the universe being an algorithm, for whatever you sow into it, you're going to reap. It's the same thing with the Prince of Air, who actually runs the airwaves. So you notice these algorithms on TikTok, these algorithms on YouTube, these algorithms on Facebook, these algorithms all over the place. All of these things mimic what the universal algorithm does. And basically it's like this: the things that you like and the things that you engage in are the things that show up on your timeline. They show up on your news feed. They show up on your timeline. They show up on your feed. They show up on all of these things, right? You can't deny what's on your Explore page, because at some point in time you have to like, engage, and participate in these things. So it's the same thing with your life results. If you don't like your life results, if you don't like what you see happening in front of your face, it is simply because these are things that you have liked and engaged in. And if you don't want to keep these things flowing, then how about let's stop engaging in these things? Because law is law. Whatever a man sows, ye shall reap. Period. Okay? And that's not the only law. I'm just using that law because that's one that's very powerful. That's one that people use against themselves and don't even realize it. Every time you lie to yourself and not honor your own word, you invite people to come into your space and lie to you and not honor your word. The minute you say things like, oh, I'm going to start working out and start treating myself better, and you stop and you don't do these things, don't expect a person to come into your life and treat you like a queen. You don't treat yourself that way. So the universal algorithm is not going to send you someone who is going to treat you like a queen. They are on the same frequency you on, beloved. They're on the same type of time you on. Okay? So if you are vibrating and you are out here on the space and the frequency of fear, you're going to meet somebody on the frequency of fear. And when you guys get together, it's going to be a nightmare. Because that's what happens when scary people get together. It becomes a nightmare. Okay? So understanding obeying spiritual law is number 1. It's very important. Number 2, understanding the science of yourself as well as understanding the science of everything else around you. As women, we love to talk about chemistry, and we love to talk about like all these things and men and how we should be doing this. We really should not even be having conversations about men when we don't understand the science of ourselves. There's a science to womanhood. Society has taught us the aesthetics of it, okay? So you see all of this wonderful things about, oh, this is how you can be more feminine to get a date. This is how you can be more feminine to do this. This is how you can be more feminine to do this. There's no such thing as being feminine. You are feminine by design. What needs to happen is you have to actually reconnect with self, okay? When you reconnect with yourself at core, which is feminine, okay, Then you begin to ooze that feminine energy. Why? Because you know your identity, because you obey your intuition without fail, because you become a master manifester, because everything that you do is extremely intentional, okay? This is what you call aligning with your authentic feminine design. But how you do that one specific way is by syncing with your menstrual cycle. If you don't understand the science of your menstrual cycle, it's going to be a struggle for you to actually build and sustain healthy relationships. I'm going to tell you what they ain't telling you. Okay? Again, when you don't understand and you're not synced with your cycle, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to create and maintain relationships. Here's what I mean by that. You have 4 phases in your cycle: menstrual, luteal, follicular, ovulation. You literally become 4 different women during those time frames. You think you're moody. You're actually not moody. You're just not in sync with what is happening on the inside of your body. Okay? So what is happening on the inside of your body is that you're going through several different transitions. Men have a 24-hour cycle, which is why they can get up and you told them one thing yesterday and you like, I just told you this yesterday and you know what's going on. Men are very one-track minded. They're designed that way. Everything about them is to be ready and to be alert, even when it comes down to their sexual organs. Everything is about being up, being ready, and being alert. Why? Because men have to always be prepared to go to war. So they are very one-track minded. But if you understand the science of your femininity, then you will understand that there's a science to masculinity that's very different. And you won't expect masculinity to act like women, because a lot of women don't really understand, right? A lot of women really don't understand themselves. Therefore, you cannot understand the masculine. When you are not in sync with your cycle, what ends up happening is that you are not emotionally regulated, okay? This is why you are all over the place. Nobody wants to deal with anyone who positions themselves as a person of being unstable. Nobody wants to deal with an emotionally unstable woman. I know that society promotes paints this picture of toxicity and how cute it looks online and how cute it looks on television and how cute it looks on reality TV. But I'm telling you, it is not thriving in reality. Women who are in a space, who are really getting these attracting these partners and, that are healthy, that are doing this. Because I really want y'all to really think about this for a second. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. There has always been issues between men and women since the beginning of time. When I look back at my lineage and I look back at women in time, women have always been having discussions about men. Men have always been having discussions about women. And it's always been levels of difficulty. It's always been some forms of drama, right? But here's the thing. In the midst of all of those things, people are still finding healthy and becoming very happy in their relationships and in their marriages, even with everything that is happening around the world. So you have to start asking yourself, what is happening in my life to where I can attract masculinity into my life to even support me as a friend who does not want to knock me down, just as a friend who sees me in my feminine, who wants to support me. You have to start asking yourself, what is happening to why I don't have access to any of those type of men in my life and in my world? And a lot of that comes from you not understanding yourself, you not knowing how to regulate your emotions. Therefore, you can't communicate properly. And don't no man, even as a friend, want to deal with someone who is in a state of instability. Nobody want to do that. Men like stability. There is a reason why you hear things such as Father Time. The masculine keeps order, beloved. The Mother Earth, she's your teacher. She's your teacher. But Father Time, that divine masculine aspect of that, it's an order. And if you can't be peaceful within self, you can't create a peaceful atmosphere which disrupts order, which means that you won't be able to have order around you because life is so chaotic for you. The masculine is not interested in your chaos. And it's all because you don't understand the science of yourself. So, in order for you to understand the science of yourself, it starts with the cycle syncing, which is what I teach my clients as well. And there are other factors that play a huge role in what is happening in your relationship with the masculine. Because there's 2 aspects of masculinity and femininity, and I think we need to kind of make that really clear. There's femininity, and that can be society's definition of femininity and what that looks like. And then there's divine femininity. That is femininity that actually understands its core is actually built and designed around the kingdom frequency, which is Luke 17:21. The kingdom of heaven is within you. These are women who operate from that space. These are women that trust. These are women who don't have anxiety about things, because these women are extremely free because they understand the science of themselves. Therefore, they're able to understand the science of everything else around them. The science of earth, the science of masculinity, the science of children. Because all of these things have their different types of development processes, and they all have an impact on you as a woman, and you should be aware of these things. So that's the second thing, understanding the science of yourself as well as understanding the science of everything else around you. Thank you, my love. The third thing that's very important is knowing your personal psychology. We tend to judge the women that came before us for the men they chose and the decisions they make, just because we think that we're better. We went to school, you got all these degrees, you done went to 50 million years and hours of therapy. Now you're feeling like, you're above them. That's what a lot of women be feeling. Like, I'm talking to and I'm hearing them, dog and disrespect the woman that actually brought them in because they don't like the choices they make. How about you still an orange that came from that orange tree? And if you really want to leverage and ascend your lineage, you're going to have to look back to actually see what doors were not closed, so that you can close those doors and close those gaps so that your children actually can have a step ahead. Because if you don't do that, you are doomed to repeat the very thing that you claim that you did not want to happen. You think you so much better than your mama because you hate that she chose these type of men, but you can't get a healthy relationship in your life to save your life. You're doing the same thing in a different way, beloved. You're doing this and you're doing the same thing in a different way. Same thing. Thank you, my love. Same thing. This is why it's important for you to know your personal psychology so that you don't repeat it. So again, that 3-part success strategy system consists of, number 1, you obeying spiritual law. Number 2, you understanding the science of yourself so that you can actually understand the science of everything else around you. Then you can see if you have chemistry, because chemistry is a science, huh? All right. Then number 3, which is knowing your personal psychology so that you won't repeat it, okay? So you can close them gaps. Because how about we going to give our babies a head start? And I'm not just talking about leaving them an insurance policy. Because how about if you leave them an insurance policy, but you don't give them any wisdom to activate within self, they're going to blow that bag. So as much as we love to talk about generational wealth, let's talk about generational health. And let's get into generational health by actually shifting how we're moving spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. How about that? And socially. Okay? So that's the 3-part success strategy system. Like I said, if you look at any scandal that's happened in society, I guarantee you one of those violations have literally happened, because it's very easy for you to be able to do so if you're not paying attention or if you get ahead of yourself. Okay? Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and get into the last 3 things, because yesterday we were speaking specifically about femininity or feminine prosperity, unveiled, elevating your income through your divine design. Very important and very vital. Like I said, this session is for women who want to understand how your feminine identity in connection with your creator can be a catalyst for increased income. It actually has been my reality. I went from working a job with a master's degree, bachelor's degree, and making like 30 to 40,000 working for a state organization, to building my business from the ground up to a 6-figure company where I have not hustled. I cannot sit here and tell you I hustled to get that money, because I did not. I teach women how not to hustle, because I don't believe women should be hustling. I believe the hustle goes against your authentic design. The hustle, by definition, because there's power of life and death in the tongue. The definition of, hold on, who is that? Baby, please. When I'm on a roll, you got to let me go. You're going to have to catch it on the back end, but let me go. See, I lost my train of thought. Oh, y'all, please. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. Okay? So anyway, I think I was talking about my identity and my income, going from 40,000 to building a 6-figure business on my own without having to hustle. Hustle, by definition, means to swindle. To swindle means to steal. What I tell y'all, John 10:10 said, the enemies come to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay? The hustle steals your time, it steals your energy, and it steals your attention, and it tricks you into thinking you're getting money. When in reality, if you had more of that time, more of that energy, more of that attention to focus on what you should actually be doing, you actually would have more money than actually spending that time, energy, attention, focusing on them getting that little money that they give you. Because they give you little money. They give you a little bag in comparison to the gifts that are within you that actually will make room for you, that bring big bags. Okay? So when you really start paying attention to it, the hustle and the grind hustles and grinds you out. That's the whole point and purpose of it. Always be leery of agendas that go solely against your authentic design. If the one that created the entire world, the universe, everything that is in existence decided that there had to be a period of rest, and you are a derivative, you come from that creator that decided that rest is necessary, and you think you ain't got to rest? Okay then. Good luck. I tried. It didn't really work for me. I was burnt out looking crazy. 90 pounds heavier, working 3 jobs, didn't have any money. Yeah, I was looking real crazy. I have a class that's actually coming on March the 5th, and it's the Reparenting Your Inner Child class. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, because knowing your identity is very important. Because if you didn't, because I'm going to tell you this, out of knowing your identity secures you. And a lot of us are very insecure as women because a lot of our mothers and our families didn't really understand or know the importance of securing us as children by strengthening our beliefs. They did what they knew how to do, right? And a lot of that was breaking our beliefs, whether it was breaking it with a belt, breaking it with becoming physical because you're not respecting me or you're disagreeing with me. It was a lot of different things that was happening during that time frame that really broke us and that really put us in a position to just start really hustling. We learn to hustle from the house. That's really the reality. And I think when I run into women that think that they're burnt out because of a job or burnt out because of a new, being new moms, you're not burnt out because of these things. You're burnt out because you've been burnt out since you were a child. You've been burnt out because ever since you were taught that no, you saying no is a problem. And so it became a habit in training for you to feel uncomfortable saying no, to feel uncomfortable receiving no. Therefore, it's a struggle for you to be able to ask for things or to articulate what you want because you're afraid you're going to be told no. And that's very damaging and it's very dangerous. Okay? So the part of the Reparenting Your Inner Child masterclass or workshop that I'm having is you're going to have to solidify your child's identity, your inner child's identity. And this is going to support you in doing that. If you missed the first part of this live, you can catch it on YouTube on my other video. But I'm going to do the second half really quick so I'm able to get out of here and get you guys together, all right? So let me go ahead and get into these 3 things. And I think these things are really going to help you kind of shift your reality and shift your perspective on some things, because I think we have it really twisted as women, especially when it comes down to money and when it comes down to men. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the first one. So again, this is for women who are trying to understand how their feminine identity in connection with their creator is a catalyst, can be a catalyst for increased income. And so I talked about 4 things yesterday. What you have to understand and really, really know is that when your identity is rooted in the security of the one that created you, it has a huge, profound impact on not only on your life, but your income, your relationships, okay? And your overall quality of life experience. When you know who you are, you walk into rooms different. When you know who you are, you state that your price point is $25,000 and you don't blink. When you know who you are, you tell a man, I thank you for what you're doing, but that's not enough and it doesn't work for me. You understand what I'm telling you? See, these are the things that you articulate and you're very clear on when you understand yourself and when you understand your identity, because you are very secure in your value. And a lot of us didn't get this growing up. And so you are required, if you have abandonment issues, you are required, if you are struggling and having all these things, or you are required to reparent your inner child and let her know who she is. Because she wasn't taught when she was a little girl. I wasn't taught. I had to reparent mine. I spent an entire year reparenting my inner child, and then I took another year to reparent my inner teen, because there's 2 different relationships, because those are 2 different people. Okay? And so we have those elements within ourselves as women, the inner child and the inner teen, along with the 4 women you become while you are going through those phases of your cycle. Now y'all see why people think you moody? You like 6 people. But you're not in touch with none of them though. You're not in touch with none of them. You feel like you're going crazy. You feel like your emotions are all over the place. You're not crazy. You're not PMSing. You're not moody. You're just not connected. And it's time for you to reconnect. Okay? And I can support you in reconnecting if that's where you're ready to go. So yeah, like I said, so let's go ahead and get into these things. So I think this one is going to be number 5. Yeah, this one's going to be number 5 because we did 1 through 4 yesterday. So this is going to be number 5. The first thing on when it comes down to number 5 is women who are, and this is resilience and faith. I want to make this really, really clear because I think I'm going to free somebody with this one. Okay? When it tells you in scripture not to put your trust in man and not to put your trust in people, you really need to take that for what it is. Okay? You should not be putting your faith and all of your strength and all of your resilience into other people. That's not your ministry. That's not your position. Your first position is to love your neighbor as you love yourself, as in you love yourself, as in you take care of your own temple, as in you make sure that you are good, primarily. I think a lot of women, and this is for my sisters who have anxious attachment style. I'm really going to free y'all because I used to be one of them too. You know, they text you like, why they ain't text me back? I did something wrong. I used to be one of them too. But let me go ahead and put you on game. The faith that you are to have as a woman should be the base of your femininity, because the base of your femininity is your faith. It's not your trust in men. It's not your trust in humans. It's not your trust in people. It is your trust in the one that created you to be able to never let you be a sucker. Do you understand what I'm telling you? To never let you get played. But the reason why a lot of us don't experience this, thank you, my love, for these gifts, is because we will not ask certain questions. We will not ask these things to actually see so we can get the answers, because we think this person's so fine, we want them. We don't want to really ask God about it. We really want to ask what's going on because we just want to do what we want to do. When you are out here dating, especially if you have anxious attachment style, your faith should go directly in the one that created you and trusting that the Most High is going to reveal to you whatever is going on in that situation. Trust me, baby, it all comes out in the rinse. So your little anxiousness, your worry, and all of these things, like it says in scripture, will not add an extra hour onto your life. It actually weakens your immune system. Because worry, and I speak from scripture, science, and psychology, scientifically, worry weakens your immune system. It makes you more susceptible to illnesses. Okay? It makes you literally sick. So when you spend your time wondering why this person hasn't texted you back, hasn't called you back, if they're doing this and they're doing that, that energy really should be focused on or placed in your trust bucket. Because you trust God so much that if something is going on, you ain't even tripping, because it's going to show up in your face. And when it shows up in your face, you get to make an intelligent decision that is going to be the best decision for you. Anxiety and anxiousness is not really elevating you. It's not getting you anywhere. Having faith in the one that created you is going to take you further. That is why you ask the Most High to go before you go on dates, before you go on job interviews, before you start working with clients, before you start doing all of these things. You ask so the Most High can go before you so you're protected. See, I'm a single woman and I date. I have a great dating roster. I have great dating experiences. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's pissing. Ain't no piss in my dating pool. I'm having a great time. I'm be real with you. I'm having a wonderful time. But I'm having a wonderful time because I have boundaries and I have standards. And most importantly, I have faith in the one that created me. Nobody can play me. Nobody. I can only play myself. Nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply were not paying attention. So which line were you in, baby? Which line were you in? What did you participate in? What did you give an okay to? What did you give permission to? What were you not paying attention to because you were so enamored by what you saw that you missed the signs? Because there are always signs. There are always things. There's always evidence. There's always evidence of these things, but you can't see them if you're not focused and you're not paying attention, if you're not being intentional. Not being intentional. Feminine women are secure in their identity because they are secure in their faith. I don't trust the man that I'm going on a date with. It ain't about that. It ain't about him. He's human. Humans gonna human, baby. And just because you human in a way that I don't necessarily agree with, that don't mean I have to deal with that. But humans are going to human. And so before I start placing blame and saying you did all this and you did all that, let me see how I participated in this experience. Let me see if I asked the proper questions before I went out. Let me see if I actually was paying attention to what's happening. Let me see if I actually trust and I actually have faith. Free game. Y'all talking about detachment? Everybody out here talking about detachment? Trust is detachment. Meditate on that for a second. I'm going to say that again. To trust, for real, is to detach. When you trust, that means that you're not checking through phones. When you trust, that means you're not coming back and asking God 3 times for the same thing. When you trust, you actually drop the seed and you walk away. When you trust that a flower is going to pop up from the seed that you planted. You don't sit there and watch the flower and sit there the whole time and just try to see what the seed is going to do. Trust is detachment. And if you struggle to detach, it's because you struggle to trust. And you struggle to trust the one that created you. So of course you're going to struggle to trust yourself. Of course you're going to struggle to trust other people, because it's not that you don't trust people. You don't trust your decision making, and you shouldn't, because you are not connected to the one that created you. You are not connected to self. When you are not connected to self, okay, you make piss poor decisions that go against self. This is why you say yes to things that you know you should say no to, because you don't have the faith, you don't have the belief that people are going to be okay with the fact that you can't do it today. You're not the person to solve everyone's issues today. You don't want to look like the person who doesn't have it together. Okay? It's time for you to really root your identity in the one that created you, because that is going to be your baseline. When you have that, y'all, I'm never worried about nobody playing me. I promise you. Nobody, I say this with full confidence, nobody can play me. Not because I'm just this grandiose, so mind game person, but you ain't gonna never play me, because I'm gonna always ask the Most High about everybody. And it lets it be known in James 1 that literally when you ask the Most High for wisdom, that's the one thing that he's always going to give you, as long as you are asking sincerely, if you are asking genuinely, if you are asking from a place knowing confidently that he's going to give you an answer and deliver, and you actually gonna leave it there. So I'm not worried about what anyone else does, because I'm always made aware of people, even when they think they're playing me, because you can't. I may not see you, but I know who does see you. And I'm going to ask about you. I'm going to ask every time. Thank you, my love. Do you know what it means? Thank you so much. I'm going to always ask about you. Okay? So the reason why this is so important when it comes down to your faith is so important when it comes down to your income and how it can increase your income. See, this is you walking into situations and walking into scenarios and walking into interviews or walking into rooms knowing that things are going to work out in your favor, that there is something for you in that room. Okay? That's the type of faith you have in. My femininity, the faith and the belief that I have in my feminine energy and who I am as a woman, is what carries me to be able to do my business. I don't know who's going to work with me. And to be honest with you, I'm not really concerned about who's going to work with me. I'm concerned about whoever the Most High puts in my path. That person is a part of my assignment, and I have a responsibility to that person. Okay? I have a responsibility to that person. I get up every single day in my business. Like I told you, I built a 6-figure business from the ground up, no hustle. I get up every single day, with the exception of the day that I rest, because I do practice Sabbath. I honor the Most High with a day of rest. When I get up and I operate in my business, I sow seeds. I sow seeds everywhere. Even when I'm not working, I sow seeds. And when I say I sow seeds, I give value. I give value to homeless people. I give value to, I don't care who you are. You could be a homeless man. You could be a stripper on the street. You could be working the street. I am going to, if you have a conversation with me, I'm going to give you value. I'm going to let you know that you have value. I'm going to remind you of your value, and I'm going to walk away. Why? Because that's what happens when you drop things into this universal algorithm of value. Those seeds of value and fruit of value is going to come up in my life sometime down the line. I've had people that, I have children, right? I don't have any biological children. I have children that I have mentored for years. I was a mentor for years. My babies are the fruits of my labor. Seeing them be better women at 20, okay, when I was coaching them at 20, now 40, seeing them in their 20s now be the women that I knew that they could be due to the rearing that's my fruit. That's my fruit. And so you have to start looking at things like, once you drop a seed, be off of it. You did what you need to do for your business to this day, drop it. Drop it. It's the times when I'm not worried about money, when money come in like this. When I'm not concerned or worried about how I got this month, I don't know how all this stuff is going to work out. I trust the Most High and I obey. That's how faith. My business is a faith walk. If you are an entrepreneur, literally, and my coach says this, she says entrepreneurship is a spiritual assignment. It is because it's an assignment of faith. It's an assignment of faith. And you are getting up every single day knowing that the Most High is going to meet you in the God zone, because that's the only place that you guys can meet in. You're going to have to come up, drop your seeds, and release and detach, and let that be your trust. Femininity is all about trust. Masculinity is external. Femininity is internal. It is everything that is within. It is your feeling. It is your emotions. It is your imagination. It is your heart. It is your nurture. It is who you are at core. That has to trust. When Eve got here, she didn't ask where the lights at. She didn't say where the food at. She didn't even say where the man at. She didn't say nothing. She showed up on the scene and things were taken care of for her. When you are operating inside, in your heart, in your feminine space, you understand that all things are going to be taken care of because the Most High takes care of his own. So why would he allow you to be slipping? Why would he allow you to be? Okay? So your faith is very, very key when it comes down to your identity as a woman, your feminine identity, and it also when it comes down to your income. Because let me tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain. When the Most High told me that it was my position and my job to wake women up doing the work that I do now, I took that ball and I ran with it. I ran with it when people laughed at me when I quit my job. I ran with it when people thought I was crazy for stepping into this full time. I ran with it when people didn't understand what was going on. And I let everyone laugh and I let everyone make jokes and I let everyone do everything that they wanted to do. And when I built my business to a 6-figure company, then it became, how did you do that? Then it became, what was this? How did I do it? I didn't have a 3-way phone call with anybody else. It was me and the Most High on the line. And once I heard that, it's something about when the Most High put the battery in your back, you go full-fledged. So when God told me I was going to be waking women up, I knew that the Most High had to have a plan of how I was going to financially survive while I was waking these women up. And guess what he did? And he used my gifts to be able to make room for me, which is why I'm able to travel the world now as a digital nomad, which is why I'm able to teach women how to be able to create seamless income, how I'm able to teach women to regulate their emotions, how I'm able to teach women to master their authentic feminine design. These are all things that I had to do to be able to get in this space. And I'm not even done. I'm not even done. But if I didn't have my faith, meaning I didn't have my belief, which I told y'all belief impacts biology and biology influences the way you behave. God told me you finna wake these folks up. My brain, I believed that. My body got in alignment and I created a 6-figure business behind that. Telling you what I know. Faith is the base of your femininity. You going on dates, stop worrying about what that man doing. Worry about what the Most High gonna show you. Stop worrying about if he like you. Do you like him? Does he fit the vision? See, we worried about the wrong thing. And it's because your belief is off. Misaligned beliefs is the reason why we sitting on this earth right now. Eve believed something that wasn't true and did an action. And because of that action, here we are sitting on earth right now in this ghetto. All because she believed the wrong thing. That's what happens. That's the danger of believing the wrong thing. We have laws against black and brown people because people believe the wrong thing. We've had towns burnt down because people have believed the wrong thing about black and brown people. Like, let's get into it. Your belief impacts your biology and it influences the way that you behave. These people believe we are savages, so they try to treat us like savages. It's the rooted belief. These things all come from childhood. These things called, you notice it tells you in scripture to train up a child in the way it should go. Train up a child. Because here's the reality. You're training your children. What are you training them with, though? Shout out to my mama. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, my mama don't play. My mama always instilled the Most High in us. And when my life crashed at the age of 33, when I started doing this work and I had to go on my spiritual journey, because I was forced into my spiritual journey. I didn't walk into it. I was forced. My life crashed. I wanted to die. And because of all of that, I knew, because of the training that my mother instilled in me as a child, to run to the one that created me. Because if I had not had that training, no telling who or what I would have ran to. So understand that you are training your children up. What are you training them to believe? Because again, belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. And if you didn't get this training as a child, then you are required to retrain and reparent your inner child. Ain't nobody else gonna do it but you, baby. It's nobody else's responsibility to do it but you, baby. Okay? But you. So understand that your faith is truly key when it comes down to your identity. Okay? Your faith is truly key when it comes down to elevating your finances. And I speak from personal experience. I speak from firsthand experience. And I speak to you as a woman who has supported other women in being able to do the same thing that I have done. Okay? All right. Let me see. My life just recently crashed at 23, and I believe more now than ever. Baby, and I'm going to tell you something. Let me give you a little encouragement because you're 23. I remember when I was 23. That was a good 17 years ago. But as a 40-year-old, let me give you something as a 23. If your life is crashing at 23, congratulations. Because you're being initiated into something greater than yourself. And I wish I would have been initiated at 23. Because had I been initiated at 23, baby, I'd already be in Hawaii. Okay? I'd already be in Hawaii. Y'all probably wouldn't even be able to catch me. I would have did all this work in my 30s. Okay? I would have did all this, you know? But congratulations, baby. Because you're being initiated into something great. And what you have right now is several doors open for you. And you get to choose what door you go into. You get to choose what version of yourself that you want to manifest. And if you have not gotten my renew, reset, rewire masterclass about manifesting a new version of yourself, grab that. If you're not in the space to be able to grab that, sign up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check out the videos that will support you on your journey. But congratulations, my love. 23, 26, I seen too, is a beautiful age for you to be able to start. 50 is a beautiful age to start. Let me tell you something, baby. In my 40 years of living, I have lived about 13 lives. Okay? About 13 lives. I think I'm on my 14th, and I like this one. So we're going to stay here for a while. I've been a makeup artist. I've been a social worker. I've been a coach. I've been a multitude of things. This is the space where I'm fully free in being myself. I enjoy that. I love it here, and the results are immaculate. So when I tell you congratulations on your initiation, don't take this time lightly. It may seem like everything is crashing. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, especially after when your life crashed. I had my life crashed a couple of times. My best friend died. I got divorced. It was different. All kind of crashes. And every time after that crash, new doors opened. After I got divorced, I was very stressed. I didn't realize what I was going to do, what my life was going to be like after I made that decision to do that. And I was terrified. And I remember asking the Most High, but I also remember writing an amazing letter about all the things that I wanted to do and how I wanted to be a digital nomad and how I wanted to travel the world, and how if I just could stop holding on to this aspect of life that I could move forward. When I finally went ahead and did it that next month is when I hit $10,000 in my business. No, $15,000 that next month in my business, right after I stopped holding on. So congratulations on your initiation. And I really can't wait to see what 24 looks like for you. So have a visualization meeting with your 24-year-old self. What does she look like? What does she do? And start embodying her habits. And start getting yourself going. Because you about to do something great. You make sure you come back and tell me too, okay? Just come back and tell me. That's how big my faith is. I know you're going to come back and do something great. All right? So number 5 again, faith. Okay? Number 6, and this is very important when it comes down to Your income, hey, your income and your identity. It's building authentic connections. We live in a very fake society. We live in a very, what can you do for me? A very, oh, you have to do this and act like this. Let me just be very clear with you. Do not put yourself in a position to alter who you are to try to attract anybody. Do not alter yourself or put yourself in a position to try to shift your core for people to accept you. Be 120% yourself. I don't care how weird you are. I don't care how strange you think you are. Allow people the opportunity to accept the fullness of you or reject the fullness of you. Both of those are totally okay. See, we got to be okay with women as women with rejection, and we have to be okay with no. The reason why we're not comfortable with rejection and we're not comfortable receiving no is because we don't say no enough. You don't say no enough. That's why you don't like hearing it. And you don't reject enough things. That's why you have a problem with being rejected. You go on every date that you're asked to go on because it's a free meal or it's for you to get out of the house. Why? You're accepting any and everything, and then you're wanting to set standards and boundaries. Is not making any sense. Have the requirements that you need to have in place so people can deal with you, but be your authentic self so you attract the right type of people. What you have to understand about being authentic is when you're being authentic, it puts you in position to be able to attract not only certain people, but attract opportunity. I always tell people all the time, being authentic gets you in the room. Your character is what keeps you in the room. So if you are able to be the fullness of yourself and create connections, this is how you are able to expand your income. How many people hire their friends and put their friends on or put people on that they're in relationship with? Sororities and fraternities do it all the time. Why? Because there's a relationship. This is why relationships are for riches. Relationships are for the wealthy. And when I say the wealthy, I'm not talking about his money. I'm speaking about in the sense who people understand that they actually are wealth. They understand that they are resourceful. They understand that they are within themselves rich. Okay? So when you have that richness within yourself and you get with another person who has richness within themselves, and then you guys get together and you create a rich experience, you create something rich, whether it's a business, whatever it looks like. Relationships and building authentic connections is what keep you rolling. Okay? So it's so important and so vital for you to be authentic so you connect with the right people. The reason why you're not connecting and making connections with people that you actually desire is because you're not being yourself. You feel like you need to put part of yourself on the back burner because people won't accept that. Who the hell cares if they won't accept it? They won't accept it. Move around. Unless you're doing something detrimental to harm someone, I'm trying to figure out what's the problem with you being yourself. As a 40-year-old, I like to go get on the swing. You will catch me playing hopscotch, and I dare you to say something to me about it, because a huge part of me playing hopscotch and getting on swings and connecting with my inner child has supported me in being able to create, which has supported me in being able to build a 6-figure business. So I don't really care about anybody looking at me crazy if I'm on the swings because it makes sense to me. Okay? You're going to see me playing. You're going to see me. I really, outside of work, I really play too much. My people will tell you, they be like, I don't even know how people think you are so serious all the time because you really play so much. I really do. I'm really like a huge kid at heart, right? And I am myself, so I attract people who have that type of light. And people who don't have that childlike innocence or that childlike type of demeanor, some of them can't stand me. Why? Not because I'm doing anything wrong, but because for whatever reason, they can't let that side of themselves come out. If they let that side of themselves come out, then people are going to look at them weird. I don't care about people looking at me weird. Because here's the reality. We all have things that are going on. So I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be real in mine. I'm going to move in a way that's going to support me. Okay? I'm walking into any room. I'm not code switching. Because I'm going to tell you something. I talked about this recently in a live talk that I did with some women, and we were talking about code switching, and I had to explain to them, I don't code switch. See, people who code switch are trying to seek approval from other people. I don't need approval or claps from creations of the creator. Okay? I don't need that, because creations of the creator can't berate me. They can't even measure me or even say really anything about me because they didn't create me. They don't really even fully know me. So I'm not going to even give you that much power to feel like, okay? To feel like you are really going to make me alter who I am. Why would I change the way I speak? Why would I change the way I interact to meet your approval? I don't think so. I've been approved. I've been called and qualified. So I don't really need the approval of other creations. And when you have that in your mind frame and your mindset, you will just be yourself. People are, listen to me. What do people keep saying? Oh my God, everybody looks alike. Oh my God, everybody's doing the same thing. This is a even more reason, a push of why everyone should be being themselves. It is so attractive to be yourself. It's a breath of fresh air to see newness. So be authentically yourself so that you can build the proper connections, and those proper connections will put your names in rooms that you ain't even been in. Okay? So it's so important. It's so vital. Absolutely. Be your own kind of beautiful. I've told the story about how I deconstructed from societal beauty because for years I didn't think I was a beautiful woman based on societal standards. So I had to shift that. Once I shifted that, then I began to see myself as a beautiful woman and I began to glow naturally. And it seems like it made me more magnetic and more attractive. Why? Because I was attracted to myself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? You cannot love your neighbor if you are not loving yourself. You cannot love yourself if you are not being real with yourself. Okay? You cannot be real with yourself if you are not spending time with yourself to get to know yourself. These things are very important and extremely, extremely, extremely vital. Okay? All right. So that is this number 6, which is building healthy and authentic connections. Okay? Number 3. And this one is very, very important. I think that we don't do this well a lot of times as women. And we don't do the balancing our priorities well because we don't prioritize self. Priorities are way out of order. If you are taking care of your children, your spouse, your job, and everything else, and you don't seem to have any time to take care of yourself, you are a ticking time bomb that is going to explode. Now, the explosion could be one of anger, or the explosion could be a breakdown of the body. Okay? When you are not balancing self, when you are not prioritizing self, when you are not fueling the woman who fills the roles, you are failing everyone else that you are thinking that you are helping. You are not operating from a space of integrity, which is why you cannot execute efficiently your roles of being a mother that you want to be, being the type of business owner that you want to be, being the type of wife that you want to be, being the type of friend that you want to be, being the type of partner, all of that you want to be, all because you are putting everyone else above you and you are not operating in integrity. You can't increase your income operating from a space of not having any integrity. What I mean by that is if you are a woman who is working 3 jobs, hell, working 2 jobs, and you got a family, 3, 2, all that, you exhausting yourself, you're not operating in the fullness of integrity. Why? Because you can't manage all of those positions in your current state. That means that something heavy is coming up lacking. And a lot of times when it comes down to working moms or moms who are having to work a whole lot and do this, a lot of the lacking comes in the ability to be able to train their children. Because they're so focused on doing everything else for everyone else and for everything else, and are not really satisfying and getting fulfillment from the very thing that they want to do at core, which is be there for their children, be there for their families, be there to be able to be a supportive friend. You can't do these things if you don't prioritize what is important. I was having a call yesterday with an amazing woman, and we were talking about, and I always ask women who come to work with me, what's really happening on the inside, even how we can start setting boundaries. Here's a cheat code to setting boundaries or shifting your priorities really quickly, okay? The first thing you want to think about is that if you're working, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the most important thing to you? What do you value more than anything in the entire world, right? When I asked my potential client yesterday this question, she said family. I said, okay. She also told me that she's very stressed out in her business as an entrepreneur. I explained to her then the new boundary is anything that interferes with family is an automatic no. Anything that interferes with you being at your best self for family is an automatic no. Anything that interferes with you being able to build and be with family is an automatic no. That's your boundary starting point. Now, and I said to her, I said, now, let's set boundaries with your family. Because if your family is the most important thing to you, you probably have loose boundaries with your family. So let's talk about what the boundary is when it comes down to your family. What's the boundary? The first thing that came out of her mouth was mental health. I said, I'm glad that you said mental health. So guess what happens now? When it comes down to anything outside of family, or anything outside of family, if it's a disruption to your family, it's an automatic no. When it comes to your family, if it's a disruption to your mental health, it's an automatic no. See, that's how you set boundaries. That's how you prioritize self. That's how you get self together. You understand and realize what you value. You set the tone with those values, and then you set up those things that are priority, and then you operate according to that. So you know what to say no to. You know what to say yes to. You know what to be able to consider, and you know what's not even an option. Because you have boundaries, and now because you have these boundaries in place, you can balance the things that are a priority. When you can balance the things that are priority, that puts you more in a harmonious state. And guess what? When a queen is in her harmonious state, she's vibrating high, which means she's vibrating on the spaces of what? Love, joy, peace. And when you're vibrating on the spaces of love, joy, and peace, which are spiritual fruits, guess what? You are able to create amazing things from those vibrational states. Versus if you are sitting on the frequency of fear and anger, all you can do is destroy in those spaces. So it's all about you being able to balance your priorities so that you can stay in a high vibrational state. Because when you're in a high vibrational state like that, thank you, my love, then you're able to love on your babies the way you want to, love on your spouse the way you want to, love on your people the way you want to, be able to support your people the way you want to. Most importantly, be able to love on and support yourself the way that you deserve, and the way that it says and you are instructed to honor yourself in scripture. And when you're able to balance and do these things, then it gives you more opportunity to be able to create more opportunity for yourself when it comes down to money. Okay? So again, let's hit these 3 things real quick. The basis of your femininity is your faith, not the faith that you put in man, not the faith that you put in, your friends. It's the faith that the Most High is always going to reveal things and always going to protect you. So you're going to stay in that realm of protection by always asking, always being aware, always being attentive, all of these things, always being in alignment. Okay? The next thing is very important for you to be authentic so that you can build these authentic connections. Anything that you attract under false pretenses, you will not be able to keep or sustain. Okay? It's kind of like you applying for a job that you know that you're not qualified for. Eventually, they're going to find out about you. You ain't been doing enough education, Sway, so you ain't going to be the fool. It's just not going to work out, okay? So it's about you building authentic connections and being able to attract based on you being authentic, okay? And that actually puts you in position to be able to create more income, to get more connections where these people are putting your names in rooms. I'm telling you from personal experience, I have had people I've never met put my name in rooms. I have had my name, and I have had opportunities come to me from just being authentic in my TikTok video. The video that it literally is the most viral video that's on my current TikTok page right now about manifesting the life you desire and using scripture. I didn't want to post that. The number one video that's sitting over there that's sitting on YouTube right now about women in the portals are closing. I didn't want to talk about those things. The things I don't want to talk about that are authentic to me, that I may not want to speak on because I don't want to scare people, are literally the things that put my name in rooms and literally put me through the door. So I had to stop running away from scaring people off with what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is literally sitting right there in scripture, and it's coming from the one that created us, and not being afraid to stand on that. So being authentic gets me in the room. My character is what keeps me in the room, because not only do you get to get one aspect of me when you experience my authenticity, but when you get me in person, you get to really experience me for real, to be able to see my character. And my character is what keeps me in the room, which is why I'm able to sustain my business. So people are looking like, how are you? What are you gone all the time? You doing this, you doing my family, you doing this, you doing that, da da da. All in obedience, all in accordance with what I'm supposed to be doing, and me being authentic. Honor your authentic feminine design. You're not feminine like me. I don't teach women to be feminine like me. You are feminine by design in your own core. I reconnect you back to your core so you can ooze that feminine energy, to get the support, to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to create the life you really want. Most importantly, to be able to receive, because feminine women and femininity is about receiving. Okay? Third thing, or seventh thing, is the balancing of priorities that we talked about, which is you understanding that you have to feel the woman that fuels these roles. In order for you to be able to execute and have long-term financial success and be able to create, your energy got to be right. Your health has to be together. That's why I explain to women, I always talk about the SMEP system that I live by and I teach, which is spiritual self-care, mental self-care, emotional self-care, physical self-care, and then social self-care. You should be dealing with the 4 elements of self before you even think about seeking somebody else. You ain't ready to talk about no money. Your spirit ain't right. Your mind ain't right. Your emotions not right. Physically, you're not right. You're not ready to get a bag. You're not. You're not ready to be social because you're not yet secure. So secure yourself so that you can actually be in a space to be able to support others and be what it is that you truly desire to be for other people. Okay? Now, the reason why this is so important when it comes down to your identity and why you need to know this, so that you can not only elevate your income, but more so that you can really reparent your inner child. I'm having a workshop on Tuesday. I have a few tickets left. Congratulations, somebody just purchased one. I got a few tickets left. It is called The Radiant Roots, a reparenting journey for feminine souls. If you know that you grew up in a household and you are struggling, you have abandonment issues, you have had some serious anxious attachment style, where you're just really, really anxious. If you need to figure out if you're anxious attachment, if you send somebody a text or send the opposite sex a text and you start tripping when they don't text you back in a certain amount of time, or you start thinking about woe is me and what did I do and what they doing, you're too attached to the situation, and that's anxiousness, and that's a sign of your inner child being needy. Okay? There's nothing. Now, let me be very clear. People will say all the time, when you say be needy, all of our inner children are needy. Children are needy. Children need things. And 4 key things that I'm going to teach you how to create for your inner child that she needs are very important. Standards. She needs standards. She needs structure. She needs scheduled playtime. Okay? And she needs stability. If you grew up in a household and you have stability, you ain't finna tell me you got it now just because you getting more money. The root of who you are is always going to show up. So we have to do that work, and we have to dig that up, and we have to plant some things so the roots that are taking form and the things that are coming up are radiant. Okay? So in this class, you're going to get the benefit of both, because it's going to teach you the importance of also the balance of both, because you're going to have to know how to balance your masculine energy and your feminine energy. Masculine energy is your left brain energy. It is your critical thinking, your analyzing, your logistics, your logic. All those things are left brain. Right brain energy is all about the nurturing, the intuition, the feelings, and all of those things. Creativity, right? So both of those things need to be in balance in order for you to have more of a fulfilled life. I know a lot of people are talking a lot about, you should be more feminine. You don't want to solely just be feminine because nothing's getting done over there. You don't want to solely be masculine because too much is being done over there to where it starts breaking down the body, okay? You need a balance of both. So this is what this workshop, I keep saying master class. This is what this workshop is going to do for you in regard to that balance. Thank you, my love. And congratulations, somebody just purchased a ticket to the master class. I see it coming through. Okay, so you're going to be able to rediscover joy and playfulness. You're going to be able to find that inner child light. One of the things that I hear a lot from a lot of men, right, who are in my circle, that are my friends, they say that as women begin to get older, a lot of us are just not fun. We just don't know how to loosen up. We don't know how to relax, and we don't know how to fun. It's like we lost our childlike spark, which is understandable for a lot of us because life is very difficult for many people currently right now. So it's very difficult for people to be able to cultivate joy or create these things for themselves. And so in this workshop, I'm going to show you how to do that. One of the things that people say about me all the time is like, you always look so happy. You always look, you always seem like you have this glow. I am very intentional about how I pour into myself, and I'm very intentional about me not losing my childlike joy, which is why I have my playfulness, which is why I'm on the swings and I'm doing all these different type of things, right? Also, the benefit is that you're going to learn how to create emotional stability and balance for self, which is very, very important, okay? You're going to have to be able to stabilize your emotions, especially with the things that you were seeing that is happening in the world and the things that you were going to see to come. Okay? So it's going to be very important for you to be able to create emotional stability, especially if you do not have any. The next thing that will end up happening after this workshop is that you're going to have an enhanced sense of self-worth and confidence. It's something about when you pour into your inner child, you won't be necessarily looking for other people to do that work for you. You begin to look at things that other people do for you as sprinkles. I like to use this analogy like, we're the ice cream cone, we're the ice cream, and we're the ice cream cone. So that's like, I know I'm fine, I know I look good, I know these amazing things about myself. So when other people come to say these things is that they actually those are sprinkles, basically. I'm sorry, y'all, somebody called me and threw me off. Those are sprinkles. So you have to look at what everybody else does or asks you is sprinkles in comparison to what you do for yourself already. Okay? So that is what's going to end up happening. You're going to have enhanced self-worth, enhanced self-confidence, and then also you're going to get the structure necessary that you need for your life. Okay? Structure is very, very important. I know as women we think that, I hate structure, I hate routine, I hate all these things. You don't hate structure and you don't hate routine. You're on a structure. You have a cycle. You're on a routine. You just haven't found your specific rhythm with your routine. And I can support you in being able to do that in this particular workshop. Okay? The next thing, so that's the masculine aspect. Those are the benefits that you're going to get. So those are the things that you're going to gain. So let's talk about how you're going to feel, which is the feminine side, which is very vital and important as well. You're going to feel very empowered and supported. You're not alone. One of the things that people talk about a lot is that the healing journey can be very isolating. It can be very lonely because you are losing a lot. You tend to lose a lot of people. And you're doing everything you can not to lose your mind and sometimes even lose yourself. And so it feels good to be able to be in a community of women who get it, who are on the same journey as you, who are doing the same type of work as you. So it's very important that you feel empowered and you feel supported in that experience. So the next thing that you're going to feel is that you're going to feel very joyful and content because you're going to get a greater sense of what it looks like to rediscover joy and celebrate yourself in a way that you really, really deserve on a regular basis, because we are really good about clapping for other people. Excuse me, but we're not the best at clapping for ourselves, and so we have to shift that. We have to elevate that. That has to change, okay? The third thing that you're going to see is that you're going to get a greater sense of balance and self. You're going to become more connected to self, which is so, so vital and so important in you being able to achieve the things that you want to achieve and attract the different type of things that you really want to attract, okay? You want to be able to do this from a very rooted and balanced place. Manifesting works a whole lot better from that space. You are it's much easier to manifest a new version of yourself when you are balanced and connected versus you trying to do it and you're not. You tend to manifest more of monstrosities of a mess into your existence. Okay? Fourth thing, congratulations, somebody just bought a ticket. The fourth thing is that you're going to feel confident and you're going to feel very, very inspired. Once you are done with this and you're very clear on where you're going and who you are and how you want to reparent self, what will end up happening is that this was going to propel you into into the depths of your personal development as well as professional development, and it's going to support you in ascending in the way that you want to ascend. When we're very confident and when we're very inspired, we tend to take action with boldness. We tend to enter into action. It says it in one of the 48 laws of power is enter into actions with boldness. And one of the things that ends up happening is that when you're very clear on yourself, when you're very confident within yourself, you begin to take actions that other people will be looking at you like, girl, you gonna do that? Absolutely, I'm going to do that. And you do it full-fledged. And so that is what is going to happen in this amazing workshop. This type of workshop and you being very, very clear on yourself and your identity is going to support you in the process of reparenting your inner child. When you reparent your inner child, that's going to forge the relationship of your creativity along with your logic. And when you're able to infuse your creativity and your logic, that's how you're going to start creating more money for yourself. That's how you're going to create more opportunity for yourself. That's how you're going to ascend. And that's how you're going to start seeing different things happen in your life. Okay? So that masterclass is happening on the 5th. Click the link in the bio to grab your ticket. It is $197. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. When you get it, you're going to get your welcome email, and then you're going to get your Zoom link. Another email is going out over the weekend excuse me, for these amazing women who are going to be participating in this experience. Reparenting your inner child has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I take my inner child outside. She's a huge part of me being able to create the life that I live, because she allows me to be able to create from a space of joy. And I want women to be able to experience that as well. So if you are dealing with your inner child, and your inner child is the one that's needy, that's the one that's, kind of running your life, your inner child normally tends to be your initial reaction to things, right? Because your inner child is the one who's scared. Your inner child is the one who wants to be seen, who wants to be heard, who wants to be understood, who wants to just be, be seen, be really, really seen. And so I support you in seeing her. I support you in hearing her. I support you in understanding her. And when you have those things, then you can give her what she needs. Therefore, you won't be expecting other people to reparent your inner child. You will be so filled with self-love. You'll be so filled with confidence that whoever is coming into your space, they can only add to it, not subtract. That's the goal. People should be coming into your life to add to your experience, not take away from it, okay? So that's the workshop that we're having on the 5th. I'm super excited about the women who've already signed up. I just can't wait. It's gonna be really, 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 really good. It's gonna be very powerful, especially for the women who took the masterclass in January about reset, renew, rewire. This is really going to support you in manifesting a new version of yourself, because you're getting exactly what it is that you need to reparent your inner child, which is a huge part of the process. So what questions do you guys have for me? Drop them in the comments. Again, congratulations. Somebody just bought a ticket. Yeah, I don't know how many tickets left for real though. I feel like it's not a lot. But when the tickets run out, they're gonna run out. So get you one. What I can tell you is that the price point is not going to be the same. So I would get it now because it's going to go into something. It's actually going to go into a bundle for women who are specifically focusing on the healing. So if that's you, boo, go on and get it while you can. But drop your questions. You can click the link in the bio to be able to access that, KB. What are some tips that I can do now for abandonment issues? Thank you, my love. I really appreciate that. What can you tips as far as what can I do now for? First and foremost is that you have to realize that I'll tell you the best thing, and I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are, but I'll tell you what's worked for me. What has worked for me is meditating on the spiritual understanding that I should not be conformed of this world, but transformed by the daily renewing of my mind. That reminds me that I am not to be attached to anything on this earth, right? I'm going to give you a... Do I want to say this on live? I'm trying to think. I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to give another example. For the women who have had fathers who have walked out on them, right? Or who were not in their lives, and children. In their children's lives, right? They weren't in your life, and it really caused a huge disruption for you. There are two ways that you can look at that. You can take that as, my father walked away, he abandoned me, and because that was my template, when I see other men, I expect them to abandon as well, because that's the tone that sets, right? Because the father is, okay? The father is the first template, just like the mother is the first template. You could look at that like he walked away, he abandoned you, and that could be your story for life. Or you could look at it like this. My father taught me one of the greatest lessons that I have ever learned. Okay? And that lesson is that I can survive and I can thrive. And human beings are always going to leave this earth, whether that is in life or whether that is in death. My father taught me how not to depend on other people, or how not to be attached to things of this world, because everything and nothing in this world is permanent. Nothing in this world is forever. Nothing in this world is always. So those are two different mindset shifts. You could spend your life blaming the parent that wasn't there, or you could see it as a lesson where the parent taught you with their behavior that nothing in this world you should be attached to. Nothing in this world really is forever. Nothing in this world is going to be around. The only thing that you're going to be with consistently the whole time you're here on this earth is yourself. That's who you're responsible for. And so when you release the idea that you have ownership to anything, that people are obligated to be here in your life, and that people are going to do XYZ, when you release those attachments and understanding that you are not attached to anything of this world, you will not be so impacted when things leave your world. You won't be so impacted when things leave your world. And this is coming from someone who had abandonment issues. And I often, and I'll sing this. I haven't done this in a while, but it's on my page somewhere. I'm trying to see if I remember it because I haven't sung it for a minute. Even your children, you don't own your children. Your children are formed in your womb. You don't create them. We're here to rear children. We are vessels. So we carry them and then we rear them into society so they can go out and do what it is that they were assigned to do. But we don't own them. We don't own our children. We don't. I know we like to be like, we don't own anything of this world. We literally, this is not possible. So anything you attach yourself to, you're going to run the risk of having a breakdown, because a serious breakdown. Because truthfully, there is nothing in this world that you really own. And I developed this affirmation for myself because I really used to be super, super anxiously attached. I used to be super, super attached. And I don't even know if I remember. I'm trying to remember it. Let me try to do it. Let me say, I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. I am the Most High's girl. I can't lose. Anything that leaves just ain't for me. Is no need for me to get the blues. Divinely protected, self-highly respected, get to live the life that I choose. So I choose myself. I choose my health. I choose my wealth over you. So what that reminds me, I can't believe I remember that because I haven't said it in so long. I'm talking about I used to be very like so detached. I'd be crying, I am in this world, but I'm not of this. I'm talking about I had to be like that until I really began to understand and be very clear in knowing that I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. I am the Most High's girl. I can't lose. So anything that leaves just ain't for me. It's no need for me to get the blues. It ain't mine. Divinely protected. So boom, he looking out for me. Self-highly respected. Boom, I respect myself enough to walk away from things, right? Get to live the life that I choose because these are my choices. So I choose myself first, choose my health second, and I choose my wealth, which is all my resourcefulness, over you, over whatever it is that I'm stressing about, I am attached to, that I feel like I can't live without. I had to literally do that. And even when I find myself in a space now, if something is happening and I feel like I need to detach, baby, I'm breaking on out. I'm going to hit myself with it, crying it out. Let's go. Because that is the reality. That is the reality. So we have to detach. We have to detach. Okay? We have to detach. I'm missing these questions. What questions do you guys have for me? Because I know I was talking on that one for a minute. Let me see. My dad passed inside my life. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm glad that you got, yes, detachment. Absolutely. Definitely a safe space, beloved. Thank you for sharing that. I have it actually. It's on my TikTok, y'all. I think if you look in my detachment folder or playlist, it's on there. But I'll run it one more time so I can hear it. I am in this world, but I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. I am the Most High's girl. I can't lose. Anything that leaves just ain't for me. It's no need for me to get the blues. Divinely protected, self highly respected, get to live the life that I choose. So I choose myself, I choose my health, I choose my wealth over you. So choose yourself over whatever else the hell you trying to stress about. Okay? Choose yourself, choose your health, choose your wealth over that. Okay? Over that. All right? She said the perfect jingle to start Women's History Month. I love it. I love it. Detachment is so key. No, it's okay. I understand him. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. It's on you it's not a song. It's just I did the affirmation and I posted it on TikTok. But you should be able to see it where I think I have something over to talk about detachment and stuff like that. So you can grab it. What questions do you guys have for me before I get ready to go? Oh, this is so cute. Thank you. And happy Women's Month. To all my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queens out there. Happy Women's Month. Please, please, please prioritize self. Put yourself first. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. March is just going to be beautiful. I know it is. I'm excited. I have my digital nomad assignment locked in where I'm about to get ready to go. So I'm excited. And March is going to be beautiful for you guys too. Okay? I'm not seeing any additional questions. Thank you so much for your time. Happy Feminine Friday. Happy Fly Woman Friday. I do need to come out with a slick affirmations thing, but I'm working. I need to get my life. I need to get my life. Pray for me. I got too much stuff already going on. Oh no. Okay, yeah, I thought I lost y'all for a second. But yeah, pray for me, babe. Cause I want to do. I keep hitting the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I keep hitting the wrong thing. That's what I'm trying to do. We screenshot that. Thank you so much. All praises to the Most High. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All praises to the Most High. All right, my loves. I'm going to. Okay. This thing ain't finna wear me. Okay, darlings. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. So y'all let me know if y'all have any questions or any concerns or anything. Thank you so much for your time. I love y'all deeply, and I plan to see y'all on Sunday night. That's the plan. Okay? That's the plan. But I don't know, work it out. So see y'all soon. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace, y'all.